All right, you guys, welcome back to Mixtape Talk. I am your co-host Jason with
Marissa.
and our beautiful guest.
I have to say my own name.
Yeah, say your name.
Hi guys, my name is Ruby.
Sorry, I should have introduced you. RadRuuby on Instagram. If you guys don't follow her, we'll drop her Instagram on here. Thank you so much for driving all the way out here in the rain to be with us.
Yes, no, thank you guys for inviting me.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. Like I told Jason, I was like, I'm a little nervous because I've never done a podcast, which is crazy because I'm on the camera a lot. But
We feel so lucky to have you on ours for your first podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're blessed because we
Yes.
have a lot of questions because our Instagrams suck. So we need to know. We need to know.
I'm like, how do
we make
you
our Instagram
level
better?
up on this?
So first off, did you enjoy the portals? Portals good?
yes,
You ate?
I did.
You're ready?
I did eat.
Okay.
I didn't want to overeat though because I was just like, okay, I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous. We're just having a conversation.
Casual conversation on the couch.
And I think you got a really big response on our social media when you announced that you're going to be on here. So I think for the most part, a lot of your followers, fans, whatever you want to call them, family, are interested on topics that are going on in your life. So I've been following you since, God, I feel like 3-4 years. I've been following you for a while, and I've seen the growth of RadRuuby from just posting fire pics in a parking lot. I think you're the originator of that. If you ask me, you were the first one I've seen like go to a parking lot
and make it look cool.
and make it look cool. I tried. That shit did not look cool. So I've seen like your growth from doing that to monetizing it. So obviously now you're a new mom. So for a lot of the people that are just listening, let's go back to the original, fully graduated from college, Ruby, and then let's see how we got to the fashion influencer now. So what college did you go to? How'd you start?
Okay, so I went to Cal State Long Beach, and I majored in human development, child development, family studies. So in my soul, I knew I was going to be a mom, but I just didn't know when.
Yeah.
But I love kids. Like I love kids. I worked with kids since I could work. And I was a definition of the broke college kid. At 18, I told my parents, like, peace out. I'm moving. I'm going to join a sorority. I'm going to do the college thing. And I did all of that. I don't know who I thought I was. My dad's like, okay, go. But I'm going to cut you off from everything. I'm talking insurance, your phone bill, everything. Like, you want to leave? Leave. And I honestly, at that point, thought that rent was only, I'm like, okay, $500 for the sorority house. And now that I think about it, I was like, that's 3 girls in one room, and I was paying $500.
Oh, wow, they're making a killing, huh?
Yes. And there's like 12 girls in that house. So I was working a part-time job, but I was thinking like, okay, $500 for rent, and then I need an extra $100 for gas. Like, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, but you don't think about like the stuff your parents buy for you. So like detergent, lotion, even seasoning for your food. Like
You're like, that's $3?
yeah, I was like, no, I'm good. I just want to eat.
Plain chicken for me.
Yes. And I was like, no, I won't eat. No, but so I was like the broke college kid. I always loved clothes and fashion and everything like that. So I would rather buy a new shirt than go eat. It's sad to say, but I was just like, oh, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just like as long as I look good. So that's how I was. For every little thing, I wanted to buy something. And originally, I did want to go to FITM like any fashion person does. But you know, people get in your head like there's no money in fashion or anything like that, which is now it's crazy because I think it's like the other way around. You could do so much with social media. So I went in as that. I graduated, got my bachelor's. Jason met me when I worked with county as well. So I did social services, child abuse, which is mentally draining.
It's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. So now I'm just like, you know, now that I have my daughter, I'm just a little like, you just have to be careful with everybody.
Yeah,
much.
especially the
And
line of work
read-
that you were in. I mean,
Yeah,
you've seen the worst of the
yeah,
worst.
it's mentally draining. So, with like being in a sorority and everything, you know, I cared about like fashion and everything. And also I remember I met this girl, her name's Crystal. So shout out to my friend Crystal. She met me through another friend. And she's like, when I saw you, I was like, I need to be her friend. And I didn't know she was a big influencer when I met her. So that's why I think it's so important to like, you never know who you meet, but you always want to be the same person because she didn't act any way or anything. I thought she was just a normal person when she followed me. And then I remember I went back home and I was like, she has like
she's
over
a big
100,000 followers. And I was just like, what is she? And then she was like, oh, like I would love how you were. I want to hang out with you. And I would say that she's the one that got me really into everything because she was the one that's like, you need to take pictures. You dress cute. You need to take pictures. That's how I make my money. And she's been a content creator since I met her. And that's already been years. She's still doing it now. So I would say once I met her, I started seeing like a different world. Like I was just like, okay, like people make money off this. You can get free things. And at first, I think it takes a long time to get to where I'm at now because I was doing a lot of free work. My first thing I posted not that long ago, a couple days ago, said my first collab was with a teeth whitening kit brand. I was so excited. I remember when I got my box, I was like posting it. I was like, my first free thing.
I made it.
Yes, I was like, oh my gosh. And, you know, I worked so hard to create the content for them. And then it slowly started rolling. Consistency is key. I think a lot of people ask me like, oh, what's like your advice for anything? Like even for you guys, like for fitness, like I'm not going to go with a trainer that I don't really know much about. I think that's how I chose my trainer. She was consistent with her content and then consistent with showing her
Before and afters?
Yeah, her before and afters. That's what got me. So I think it's consistency is key with whatever you do. So I was constantly posting at least like 2 or 3 times a week. And you're going to have those people that are like, who is she trying to be now? You know? But
for sure.
You know, now I look back at it and I was like, I wish I would have like gone 10 times harder when I started because it wasn't as big.
Yeah.
I think now it's a lot of people see it as being very saturated. I don't think so. I think you just always have to find something that's going to make you a little bit more different than someone else. But I would say that that's how I started, just with my first teeth whitening kit. And I knew it's something that I wanted to do and I enjoyed it. So I loved my 9 to 5. I enjoyed it because I was like, I'm doing something that's good, you know, for children, families, and it made me feel good.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was just kind of cutting my creative outlet, I would say, because you're like sitting behind a computer and listening to like these sad stories that I was just
Especially your line of work. I mean, I think for the most part, the more of these we've done, we noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs, they feel exactly like how you feel. Like, I have this awesome 9 to 5 job. I probably went to college for it, prepared for it, but I'm so creative in one way or another that I feel like it's holding me back. I know for us, it's the same with things. So I feel like it's a consistent story with the content creators or just anyone that's an entrepreneur. So college is when you first started posting?
I started posting, but not taking it as seriously.
And you took it serious
like,
after college?
Yeah. No, like, yeah, it was, I want to say like my 4th year of college.
Okay.
I was, that's when I had met Crystal around that time. And I remember she's, like I mentioned, she's the one that really is like, you know, you can make money off this. And I was like, really? And it's cool when you can make money with something that you love. Like genuinely, it's so easy. And like, I love clothes. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me I could get free clothes and I could get paid for it eventually. And like I said, I did my work. I worked with like Forever 21 for free for like a year.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And then it just like, it comes to a point where you start realizing like your worth and you start learning more about the whole business. Because if you think about it, I think people think as an influence, we were saying, we don't like that word, content creator. Let's go back to that. As a content creator, I think people just think you're just like sitting there, look pretty, get free clothes, free stuff, you take a picture and that's it. So you're living
There's
the life.
no work behind that.
But if you think about it, and for example, yesterday they're like, can you please send, a brand was like, can you please send me your creative brief, which is just kind of saying like, this is what I'm going to do, what I plan to do to show your brand. I'm going to be filming myself like doing a get ready with me and then showing your product. It's so many things, so much more. Like
it's like a detailed resume for them specifically.
Yeah, you're being your own marketer, your own creative director, your own editor. You're taking time out of your day. You're driving places if they want like a certain aesthetic. So I feel like people don't see all of that. And then also sometimes it's frustrating because then they won't like your content. They'll be like, okay, can you reshoot this? And it's just
Wow, I didn't know that. So like, I think a lot of people just see you post, but you're treating it like a business. So you actually have like a resume, I guess, of sort that you send to these?
It's called a media kit.
A media kit.
So before,
okay.
when I was like my own negotiator, now I'm with the agency.
Oh, awesome.
And I love my manager. She's killing it for me. So she's just amazing.
Shout out to the manager. Thank you.
When I was doing it all on my own, it was so frustrating because I feel like people don't take you seriously if you don't have a manager in that realm, just because they either take advantage of you or you yourself, you don't know how much you can charge for something.
When did you realize you needed a manager?
I felt like I needed it already since maybe like 2 years ago, but I felt like I did trial and errors with a couple people and it's just, sometimes it just didn't work out. And I think my recent manager, we started working, I think last year. And then I just realized that she made my life so much easier. It's literally like, sign your contract, read over it. I'll give you your deadlines, have your content to me by this date. So it's just kind of, you're not stressing about everything anymore.
Right.
And before, I didn't know my worth because like people talk and they're like, wait, you're charging this much like for this, and they're using your photo for like so many different things. I didn't know about usage rights. Like you can tell a brand like, I'm going to charge you this much, but you can only use my photo for 3 months. After that, it could be like an additional fee.
Wow.
Certain things like that you're not aware of, or like advertising, they're running ads with your picture. I didn't know all of this. So getting a manager for me was just like my best move, because she just has made my life so easier. Also, I've connected with so many more brands with a manager, because there was times where like there was emails just sitting there and I just couldn't get to them because I was working my full-time job, and I was still like, I would literally work my 7 to 4, then rush home, try to beat lighting so I can take a picture.
Oh, I never you know what's so funny is like at the gym there's a spot that's like the perfect golden hour.
Yes.
So you'll see trainers like literally waiting. I'm gonna wait, Jay, because I want this picture, I want this selfie. And it's so funny because I didn't think of that. Like sometimes the aesthetic has to be there, and the aesthetic meaning the time and you rushing from work and coming back. And that's interesting. That's a good thing. A lot of people are like, yeah, I can imagine.
And I also had like a work friend, one of my good friends, she works in the same place, and she started doing content creating. So we would go on our lunch and just take pictures and then shoot, change. And that was a struggle, because I was like, man, it's not even a break because I'm still working. But it's shown me a lot. It really has shown me a lot. And that's why when I feel like I can go into any field like now, because I've learned so much. Like if you need me to edit a video for you, I got you. If you need me to take pictures for you, I got you. If you need me to style you, I feel like I took on so many different hats by just learning the whole content creating. And a lot of times I feel like I would struggle with, I love doing this, and then you build this organic audience, but you also are like stuck in like, but you also don't want to seem like a sellout. There's so many brands that I have turned down because they don't align with
your values.
Like there's dating apps. I'm not gonna be promoting a dating app. Like
You're not gonna be on Tinder?
they're gonna pay you well, but I'm just like, no, it
Why
just
not,
doesn't
though?
make sense.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship. back
Okay,
then.
okay,
I'd be
okay.
like, oh, good.
Hey,
Find me on there.
find me
Like,
and my ex. Find me and my ex on there. Huh?
Yeah. No, that's why it's just like, like even when I was pregnant, like there's sometimes I'm like, I know I can't be using these supplements. They play well, but I'm not gonna pretend and lie to my audience and say like, hey, I use this. You guys use it too. It's just certain things that you have to be very careful with. I think when it comes to still staying like very authentic to your brand, and I think God willingly, I feel like that's what helps me do so well, and I enjoy it because I feel like I still always have that in the back of my mind. Like if I would be so devastated if I found out like my favorite influencer was putting stuff out there that she doesn't even believe in or anything like that. So I really try to really stay true to myself when it comes to who I work with, and just for it to align with my brand itself. And now I'm a mom, so I'm not going to be doing a dating app.
Hey, just because you're
where
a
the
mom
single
doesn't mean you
dad's
can't date anymore. Yeah, you're gonna have some influencer, single dad, and he's gonna be like, oh
Creep up in
shit.
your DMs, like,
Yeah.
So kind of coming back to that, I like that you even addressed that, because that was actually one of the questions was, how do you, because now you're at a position where you could select what brands you want to use. When you're going through and you get all these bids and you're going through everything, what's some of the things that you look for that aligns with what you believe in, as far as when you look into a brand? Like, do you do background on them? Do you do research? Do they send it to you first? You try it, and have you told a brand like, I don't like it, I'm not going to partner with you?
Yeah, no, there's been times where a brand has sent something, and let's say I just don't think the quality is what it is like supposed to be, or I don't feel comfortable sharing something because I'm like, oh, I tried it on and I tried taking a picture, but it's just not like, can I get something else? Like there's been like redirection with brands, of course, a lot of the times. And then also I just, like you said, as far as if I do my research, I feel like I've gotten the privilege to work with really well-known brands now, and I feel like Nike, Walmart, H&M. So I know they have a good reputation. I know there's some brands though that have had like little scandals that I'm not going to say. Or anything,
Don't do that.
But like, don't do that. But it makes me kind of draw back from them. Like, okay, like I'll just, thank you, but I'll hold off for a little bit.
thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, because you have to you're your own walking brand too, so you have to be careful who you work with. Something that advice I can give to people as well.
Right.
Don't just be taking everything.
No, that's what, yeah.
Like all money is not good money.
I think that's a big one too. Is I think we'll get to the questions, but a lot of it was geared towards obviously everyone's seen your growth. They've seen you work with Walmart, which was a huge one. I mean, that I've seen. So people are always interested in what you turn down. Like, how much stuff do you get? Like, let's just say an average Ruby email week. How many offers do you get? How many do you turn down?
don't know because now
Oh, your agent.
my manager runs that for me, which is cool because I think she's very selective as well because people think like, oh, like the more you're booked and busy and everything, but it's also like how much work can you take on? She knows I'm a mom now, but I do tell her like work me, like
Yeah.
work me. You know, now I am, you know, a single mom now, so I want to make sure she's good. I want to be good, so I work. Like I really work hard, and then I have my store, and I'm constantly working, and sometimes I'm just like, okay, I need to like take a break.
When can I breathe?
Yeah, when can
Yeah.
I breathe? But like I said, at the end of the day, like end goal, I know for you it's gonna be, and I know Jason, you want to make sure your baby's gonna be okay.
Always.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. Like,
Yeah,
that's
your
like-
life is definitely, and everyone's probably told you before, and you hear it all the time, but like your life isn't your life anymore. If that sounds weird, it's more everything, every move I make or everything I do, I always think of like how that's going to benefit my wife and my daughter. And I mean, you being a single mom, I'm pretty sure you're like, okay, I got to make sure my daughter, first of all, sees a strong mom, right, as a
Yeah.
representation of what she is going to become, but also understanding that, you know, you had to work through it. So I think in general, I'm always impressed by going on your Instagram and knowing all the stuff you do. Because I try to shoot a little bit of content and it's not even the quality of yours. And I'm like, I have a trouble because I have a daughter and I'm watching her and I'm trying to do it. I'm like, get out of the shot, babe. And she wants to be a part of it. But, you know, kind of touching on that now you are a mom. Congratulations. How old's baby girl?
She turned 5 months yesterday.
5 months. So you're pretty fresh off that.
Baby
Yes.
girl's 5 months and I'm 5 months pregnant. That's
Oh, it's a sign. 11-11.
Like,
I'm like, it might be. It might be.
So when you first found out you were pregnant, did your mentality shift? And I'm talking on the business side as far as like, okay, I have a new market, a new niche. I need to start to have my audience go geared towards, because you have a newer audience now, I would assume, right? Like you have a lot of
but
single
to
moms.
be honest, like when you said like when you found out I was pregnant, I was a little. It's like, are you ready to not to like not be selfish anymore? Because now it's not gonna be. It's literally not your. I mean, I feel like a lot of people think that you, like new moms that I've talked to, they're like, it's not as easy anymore or anything. But I am a firm believer that you have to like adjust your child to your like life, because
I love that you said that. It's not the other way around. Like people are like trying to
but
accommodate.
see, like I might get like, no, you're being selfish still because you know
Yeah.
you're like, and I feel like sometimes people will see me like take her to photo shoots, and I'll post it. I'm not shy to post it or anything, and I'll get people say like, shouldn't be out that much, you know, or anything like that. But I'm like, girl, I'm doing it
For
my
her.
own
Yeah.
and for her. And then there's these moms that are like, you make me want to take my baby out because I feel like I can't do anything. And then I see you running around with her doing everything. And that's like one advice like I'm gonna give you, Marissa.
Yeah,
like
for
have them
sure.
adjust to your life because you want to be happy. You don't want to lose yourself by, I'm not just gonna say like by just being a mom.
No.
Like you could still do everything you
I love that.
you
And that's
normally
definitely,
do.
yeah, that's my goal. That's my vision. I feel like I'm going to have that baby on my hip at the gyms and talking to
Yes.
the trainers
Yes.
and being on the floor. Like you have to, like,
Yeah.
we always talk about like, you don't want to lose yourself being a mom. Like you want that baby to see, like, you're still independent. You're still running the show. Like
And how
that.
you guys asked me, how do you take your content? And like I was telling you guys, like whoever I go with, one of us is taking turns rocking her and like shooting with one hand. And it's so funny because I'm like, I wonder if people that have cameras see how we're doing it, but it doesn't stop me. At
Yeah.
first, I really, really thought, I was like, oh my gosh, am I ready? Not like, I'm gonna have to be like not selfish anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's not my time only. But I'll have her with me everywhere. Everything you do, even my LA trips when I'm getting stuff for the store, she's with me. And it's just she's adjusting to it, and I feel like she's getting used to being in the car longer now for longer rides, and it's just having her with me all the time too makes me feel at ease.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
And then you're not missing any milestones. And it's like the best blessing is having her with you.
Yeah. But you're saying how I adjusted to being the mom content.
Yeah, content wise.
Now I felt like I had a conversation with my manager too, and I told her I'm a little lost. I was like, because a lot of people know that I usually post my fashion content. So I was like, I don't know if I just stick to that and then not do so much baby. But then like the baby is my life. Like I'm literally with this girl like 24/7. She's like, no, do both. Like do both. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate it. The mom gang is so supportive.
The mom gang. Shout out
Yes,
to the mom
the
gang.
motherhood. That hood is
Yeah.
so supportive, and I think it's just amazing to see. Like I could post right now, like she's teething. So if I could put like a suggestion, so many moms will go on there and be like, try this, try that. And I love that because I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah, because
you
you're
know?
lost and then having all the
Yes.
support.
Yeah.
With
So-
people you don't even know.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've connected with so many moms out there, like on a whole different level, I feel. And I feel like I wouldn't have got to connect with them if I didn't become a mom. So I just feel like my content is still the same. Like I want to still stay true to myself, like I told you. I still don't want to lose myself, but I still have a mixture of her in there as well. So I think do both.
Do both. Yeah, I mean, and you can see it too. I feel like as well, just going back, your content hasn't changed that much. It's just now, I would say a lot of people are interested in, as far as like, you do have a new following, right? And it's a lot of, I would say just moms in general. And a lot of moms kind of feel like, oh, I can't wear that kind of stuff. And you're relatively, I mean, 5 months is not a long time removed from being pregnant. So
Yeah, you're
so do you feel like your style has kind of have adapt to how your body has changed, or do you kind of rock it however you rocked it
feel
before?
like my body changed a lot. You're gonna see your body changed a lot. So I remember when I was pregnant, the last few months I was like, dang, like nothing fits, and I did not feel comfortable at all with myself. But I think even when I was pregnant, if you look at my outfits, it was still a lot of things that I normally would wear. Obviously, I'm not wearing an extra small in like my pictures and stuff when I had a belly, but I still dressed the same in a way, I would say. I didn't like go crazy and go buy a lot of maternity clothes, just because I still wanted to feel myself in a way. I know my body was changing, but I still wanted, and then it also showed moms out there that they could still wear similar things. They didn't have to go, you didn't have to go straight into maternity clothes. A lot of maternity clothes is not cute.
I know my wife was like, I'm not buying any of this stuff.
Yeah, so I was just like, I'm going to continue, buy it big, like a couple sizes larger, but I'm going to be okay. And
Yeah.
I think I made it work. And now I feel I still dress the same that I used to. Obviously, I did have my struggles, like trying to get my body back. That was, I think, I just thought you're so used to seeing your body all the time. And then once it changes, and then you're just like, hey, so when am I going to go back to normal? And some people don't.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they get like in like postpartum, like I've explained, sometimes you don't feel like doing anything. And I was just like, I was in that little rut for a little bit, but I was like, okay, you know what, Ruby, you can complain, sit here, have your own little pity party for the longest time. But at the end of the day, like, no one's going to do it for you.
No.
So I was just like, let's get a trainer. And that's when I got a trainer, and she's helped me a lot. And I feel like now I'm back to normal again.
Love that. So
Yeah.
do you feel like the trainer is what helped you get out of your postpartum rut? Or if I don't
think-
like to say postpartum depression, because I know a lot of people do go through that, but do you feel like you were kind of going towards that direction before finally snapping out and like, I need to do something for me?
Yes. I think my trainer, I still got a therapist. I recently put a YouTube video talking about postpartum really did hit me. And I felt for a long time I was trying to battle it and say like, no, it's all in your head. Like, you're feeling this way because you're choosing to be like this. But sometimes like I would wake up, not want to do anything. I would look at the baby and I would just literally just look at her and I'll start crying. Cause I was just like, man, am I like good enough to be a mom? Or sometimes it's just so many, you get in your head.
Yeah.
So, and I would tell other moms, like, did you feel like this? Because there's days where I just don't want to get out of bed, and I would get like upset when I couldn't like make her stop crying like right away or anything. Or like sometimes I would just like my day, it's so crazy because I felt like my day would just go by, and then before I knew it's nighttime, and I'm like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Like besides like just sit there with the baby. So I felt like I wasn't doing stuff for myself. I was just literally just focused on the baby, and I was just trying to figure out the whole mom thing. And I was just upset about how my body looked, but I wasn't doing anything about it. Mentally, I was messed up.
Yeah,
like I was just like
sure.
going through it. So, and then with the breakup, like I had talked to Jason like briefly. It was just so much at once that I was just like,
Well, so many life changes are like
Yes.
right at you.
I was like learning to be a mom. I had never carried a newborn. Actually,
Your baby girl was your first
Yes.
baby. That you
Wow.
had.
like they've put a newborn on me, but like I wouldn't go out of my way, and then I'd be like, take it back. Cause
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
when someone gives you a baby, you're like, okay, cool, give it
Yeah.
up. I
I'm like,
yeah.
this is gonna be 2 seconds. All right,
Yes,
and there you
no,
go.
that's how it was. Or I'll just like look at them because I just feel like newborns are so fragile. Mm-hmm. So she was like my actual like, my long run. And yeah, so it was just, I was learning to be a mom and trying to figure it out. And it's like, okay, so I couldn't do breastfeeding. I failed at that. I tried it for like 2 weeks and then I threw the towel.
Do you think it was the
failure.
stress of just
Yes.
the transition in
Even
your life?
that was adding to, I felt like, to
Yeah.
my postpartum, because I was just like, girl, you can't even feed your baby. correctly.
Yeah.
Because I was having trouble with her latching, and I would try, telling you guys, I tried so hard. I even did the pumping thing, and just sitting there like for 20 minutes, I was like, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do this.
You know what? I don't want to interrupt you, but it's just so important that you're sharing this stuff.
Yeah, because
I honestly, Ruby, I don't think you understand. There's a lot of people that are probably listening to this, myself included, that look at your Instagram and it seems like you just have your shit together. You just do everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of women, and my wife kind of experienced that too, the importance of the breastfeeding. And she couldn't do it for that long either because she had to work, and she felt like she was a disappointment, and we had to have conversations about it. But I think so many women right now are listening to this podcast right now and going like, oh my God, okay, I'm not alone. And I think a lot of women don't. I mean, who am I? I'm a guy sharing this, but I'm just giving from my wife's perspective. We had no one to really talk about it. So for us, it was like researching online and going to like a class at the hospital and understanding that that's natural. That's normal. That stuff does happen. But I love that
yeah, because
that you're sharing all this right now, because for everyone that's listening, you look at Ruby's Instagram, myself included, and I think, man, this girl got her shit together. She has sponsors. But I always tell people, you don't know the backstory, right? You were newly pregnant, right? Newly break up, right? Got out of a relationship. You were still doing your 9 to 5. You have your own business, your own shop, and you're shooting content, but now you add mom on there.
Yeah.
And how you're balancing this and the emotions you're going through are completely what everybody else is going through. So,
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like this side of Ruby, and this is why I wanted you on the podcast,
100%.
because we know you're a bomb entrepreneur. Like, that's not in question.
Easy.
Yeah, I just love to hear this mom side of you. So kind of like now, again, going back to that, you are a single mom and you do have all these responsibilities. What do you think is the best suggestion that you give to moms on how to balance everything?
Yeah, because inquiring minds want to know, girl. I'm about to be there.
It's going to sound, no, I'm not silly, but I like to write everything down, not put it on my phone, because I feel like once I put stuff on my phone, I'll literally start going into Instagram or everything. So I'll just get distracted. So I like to have something tangible. So I always get like an agenda, a planner, and I make sure I cross off everything I need to do. But lately, my schedule is so messed up. Like, the baby will be out from 10, like her bedtime's between, I want to say 8 to 10. And if I'm lucky, it'll be 8, and she'll last till like 3 in the morning. But on the bad days, she'll fall asleep like at 10, and that's when I'll start shooting content. Like 2 days ago, I shot one of my brand deals, and I was up till 2 a.m. doing it in the restroom because she was asleep and it was quiet. No one's going to interrupt me. She wasn't crying. So I feel like I've kind of made my schedule right now very flexible to what works with me. I can't tell you guys like I have like a golden schedule right now, because it can change.
You're like, my morning routine is perfect.
Yes, no, it's not.
Oh, and it's going to change. It's going to change
1,000 times probably.
1,000 times more.
So I'm like, I don't have like the correct answer to say, but I'm a planner. I like making everything look cute, crossed off. And even like that feeling of you just crossing something off that you did, you're just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just a planner. And as far as the schedule, I can't say I have one, because like you said, adding mom on there makes it a lot, like 10 times harder, because I think I'm going around her schedule. I'm kind of like, Anissa, when can I shoot content?
When are you going to be down for like 2 hours so I can get some work done,
so
girl?
it's like her world, and I'm just living in it right now. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And like I said, you just have to be flexible and patient. I know eventually things are going to go a lot smoother for us, once I get into the rhythm of things. But as of now, like I think I have I expect her to be taking her naps, like 2 naps, and then I'll try to do the most I can within that time. And I have a good support system. I know I mentioned that in my YouTube video. I think my YouTube video literally explained everything that everybody was asking me constantly, or little things I talk about Anissa on there, my changes, everything. But I mentioned that my family has been there for me and have made this transition a lot easier for me, because I think without them, I don't know. So that's why when people say like, you're lucky you have a support system, because I didn't. And I'm like, I feel for those moms sometimes out there, because I'm just like, man, it's so hard. Yeah. Like just doing everything on your own. And even the little break, like when she was 2 months, when I like went to my parents' house, even to shower, like I would tell my mom, can you please hold her for a little bit? And then she'll be there to help me,
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I got a trainer, because my mom's like, if training is going to make you happy, then I can watch her before I go to work.
Wow.
And then my sister too, now she she was just like, if you match me, I will be her babysitter. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So she's been helping me out a lot. So I just think my family has literally been there for me the
That's
past couple
beautiful,
of months.
yeah.
And I owe them a lot because, like I said, like I feel like without them, I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
can you
No.
cut this out?
No. That's the thing, Ruby, is a lot of people don't really understand
It takes a village.
what it takes to do what you're doing. And so for me, I have so much respect for you. And that's why you were one of the people that I really, really, really wanted on the podcast. And obviously you and I have had discussions on the phone. But I think this is so good for people to see. It's a new side of you, right? It's not the parking lot Ruby taking pictures looking cute. It's now you're still able to be the same woman you are, but now you have more responsibilities in how you juggle them. And I think you did a great job of kind of explaining on you're a planner, right? For me, I took note because I write everything on my phone, but then as soon as I write on my phone, my little alert goes on, then I'm on Instagram, then I'm on the gym Instagram, then I'm on here. So I think finding that piece to be able to cross things off is very important. But the baby girl's beautiful. So I mean, everything happened for a really positive reason.
Yeah, and you guys know Viviana. I don't know if you follow Viviana, but she became a really good friend of mine. And recently I was with her, I think last week, and she was like giving me kudos about things because I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or say like, oh, this is so hard, like, no, I love being with my daughter every day and everything. Like right now there's like a formula shortage. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yes.
So I was expressing myself to Viviana last weekend. She's like, you're doing a good job. She's super sweet. She was like, you're like, kudos to you. Like you're doing it. You're fine, everything. And then I told her like, as much praise as people give me. And like I said, like my audience on Instagram is so supportive. And
You have an army, dude.
yes, I love them. They're so supportive and I feel like they're always checking up on me. And I love that. But I told Viviana, I feel so ungrateful sometimes because people praise me like for like you guys are saying like, oh, you guys like you're doing it, And I told her no matter how much like someone tells me that, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm going home and doing all of this, like putting the stroller in and out of the car. Like I'm buff now.
You're like, this right arm.
Yes. And then like when I can't put her to sleep, like and it's so crazy because with the formula shortage, I was like, oh, I'm such a horrible mom. Like I should have been looking for formula because I already switched to formula once. And I was like, oh, like her tummy, I'm thinking about all these things. And I remember I couldn't find formula a couple of days ago. Yeah, I'm gonna say a couple of days ago. And my mom's in the group chat, everybody's like, we're looking by her job. Like my family's like, we'll look, don't stress it. But I remember I just felt so bad because normally I always buy 2 at a time and I let it get halfway. And it's the first time it happened to me where I literally couldn't find it. I was like, this formula shortage is no joke. And I remember I had a stressful day that day. And I remember I just was trying to put her to bed and she's just looking at me and I'm crying, but I'm like I'm like, at this point,
You're like, don't make eye contact.
I'm like, at this point, it's my turn to cry. You cried already. It's your turn to cry. But like, I'm just looking away because, I don't want her to like look at me crying. This girl grabs my hand. I lost it.
God.
I was like, no, don't do this to me. But that's why I understand when people say like, that's your bestie for the rest of you. Like,
Oh my God, yeah.
don't stress it. And she's a baby. I'm like, granted, she might not know. She's learning to grasp onto things, but she did it at the right time where I felt like such a warm feeling in my heart that I was like, okay.
Like we're going to get through this.
Yeah, like, we're okay.
Yeah.
So it's just.
They say that, but I feel like especially because she's like 5-6 months, there's things even now like if my daughter sees I have a bad day, she'll come up to me and just give me a hug and a kiss. Or if I raise my voice, she'll be like, Daddy, don't be mad. So I feel like even when my daughter's older, but even when she was younger, they recognize that if my wife was sad, I would see her crawl over to her and she'll like hold on to her leg. There's things that I feel like you guys are bonded for life and she feels what you feel, but like she's seeing a strong woman. I think when they go back, and the beautiful thing about Instagram is you can document everything, so you can go back years now and show her what she looked like when she was a little baby, with the things I was doing with you, and that's going to be a dope little reel.
I'm teaching her how to like go soft. Like I'll tell her soft, and then now when I put her hands like on my cheek, she like slowly does it.
My
I'm
God,
like,
that's
you
so
are
cute.
smart, baby.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I feel like I was always sensitive and such a softie, but now like softie on
Another
steroids.
level.
Like I'm just like, oh, if you tell me one thing and that's just like sad, I'm just like, Like, am I still pregnant? Because those hormones are like crazy still. I'm very sensitive. So that's why I'm just like, man.
No, I mean, I think you've got soft because that's your daughter, but you also got tough because you understand that. I always preach it's like no one's really there to save you. Obviously, you have your support system, but at the end of the day,
You got you.
it's you got you,
Yep.
and
You're with you forever.
and I try to preach that to myself.
Yeah.
Is like at the end of the day, like I have to have me and my daughter and my wife. Like there's nobody else. If something happens, like I'm the one that has to go out there and do it. Granted, my wife does her own thing, but now it's just you're a single mom. And you understand the tough side is like I got to get this shit done. I got to get these ads done. I got to get whatever I got to get done
I
because it's
think
gonna
what
help
I
us.
learned, honestly, it's taught me a lot. Is just like you have to be solid on your own.
Oof.
Even if you're on in a
Right there.
relationship.
Look into the camera right there and say that's everything.
You have to be solid on your own. Because I feel like, well, I've only been in 2 relationships prior to this. And I felt like I was younger, and I feel like when I was in a relationship, I would invest my time. Everything was about them.
Yeah.
I would do so much for them that like I would lose
Yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
And I noticed the difference now, like to this breakup, that I was just like, wait, before I'm like, what do I do now? Like I am so used to being with them all the time and everything. And I just felt like my life depended on them a lot. Whereas now I felt like I was kind of whole on my own. So it's just more of like, that's like my advice to people sometimes. It's just like, make sure you got your stuff together on your own. You're solid on your own, because I feel like when a relationship's going to last if there's 2 whole people,
Yeah.
I feel. So it's not one me.
It's like 2 independent people becoming dependent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're whole on your own. So I feel like, not saying that this breakup didn't hit me. Of course it did. I was broken.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just like, we're going to be okay. I had my pity party, but I was like, you know what, Ruby, like you're good on your own. Like, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't stress it, but I did.
You're not defined by the person that you're with.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Like he
Yeah,
did
added that-
added to me.
yeah.
I learned a lot and I like, give him that. But I'm just saying, like on my own, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that if it's any advice to me, like, don't depend on someone. You got you.
Yeah.
I had my own pity party when I was going through crap.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to let myself sit here because every day is passing by and what am I going to be doing? Like just crying over here? No. And so be solid on your own. That's like my advice.
But I think you allowing, and I think people try to hold it in for so long that all of a sudden it's like 6 months, 8 months, a year later, and then they like break. I think the fact that you're able to just release it and like you release it, you check yourself and you're like, well, I had my moment. You give yourself that time to have your moment and process. And I think that's what makes you so much stronger too, because you're like, all right, you kind of have like,
and it's
that
like
pep
good
talk
days and
with
bad
yourself.
days. Like I could be so good for like 2 weeks and then the formula shortage.
You're like, tears.
I'm like, man, and there's like little things like that.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
At that, 'cause obviously our daughter's on formula, but man, I remember how expensive it was first of all. But I remember even finding it ourselves because we used like the pre-mixed one, the liquid one.
Yes.
And I remember that thing was like $9, and my wife's like, get 4 of them. I'm like, God, that's a lot of fucking money. Yeah,
Formula's expensive.
it's so expensive. Yeah, so
That's
I
why
mean,
sometimes I'm like, man, you should have stuck to breastfeeding.
Like,
it
would have been a
so
lot
much
cheaper right
money.
now.
Yes, and I wouldn't have been stressing on but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, a can is like $40-$60 sometimes. The bigger one, $60. And my girl is hefty.
welcome.
My girl is
It's hefty.
She's a big girl.
Yes, I went to the doctor and I was laughing because
No, I'm not like but all babies are chubby, but she's like a cute little chubby girl.
yes, no. I went to the doctors with her and I was laughing because they asked you like, do you have any concerns or anything? I was like, well, I recently switched her milk and I'm stressing out because she keeps spitting it. And I was like, I'm not like, I'm unsure if she's eating enough. And then she's like, oh no, your girl is
Baby girl's
hefty.
good.
They're like, she's 15 pounds. She's straight, Ruby.
16 pounds.
Is she really?
Yeah. So like, she's eating.
Oh
She
my
is
God.
eating. Yes.
That's so funny.
Wow.
Yes.
She's a bit, so
60
I understand. So I mean, just kind of talking about on the size of baby girl. I know off camera we kind of talked about just you giving birth and the pregnancy and stuff like that. For a lot of your followers, they kind of followed it on Instagram. You checking in, but you kind of explained that you had a hard pregnancy, right?
Yes. I wouldn't say a hard pregnancy. I think just my labor was a little, and that's another thing that a lot of people like. I asked you like, how's it going? You're like, I enjoy it. Everything's a smooth ride. And I think a lot of people, it's either hit or miss. Some
Yeah.
people just hate it. I felt like I had a smooth pregnancy, I would say too. I was nauseous like in my second trimester, but it was pretty smooth, I would say overall. But then labor was just, she came early, so I wasn't ready for her, 3 weeks early, like I mentioned. And I remember saying like, oh, I'm gonna have my birth plan and everything. I mean, I went in there knowing I wanted an epidural. There's a lot of things you learn. I have a lot of nurse friends. They were telling, like, sending me little PDF files, like, just check everything. You know, make sure you do skin to skin. A lot of hospitals do it, but some don't. Like, make sure you.
I'll send those PDFs,
Yes,
girl.
I will. Or like some people, like sometimes your babies, like all their testing gets done outside of the room. Some they stay in the room, and I was like, make sure that she stays in the room. So little things like that. You don't want your baby to get switched.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is
Yes.
like a Lifetime movie right
Yes, yes. So that's
It'd
like
make a good
something-
podcast, Marissa.
Yeah.
Now with my baby.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, the baby switch. No, but I remember I had it like on my phone, you know, if anything. But since it was 3 weeks early, it was just like, girl, you're gonna do whatever they tell you to do
Yeah,
at this
for
point.
sure.
And I know I didn't want to have a C-section, but I did mention to you guys that she was, when I was pushing her out, it was just a nurse, and I knew there was a problem instantly when she called the 6 other nurses, and then I was stressing out because they're like, her heartbeat's going down, but apparently this happens a lot. So they were
I
saying,
feel like a lot of the people that
Yeah.
I've talked to about their labor, it's like there's always a scare with the heart rate. And
yeah. So they're like, her heartbeat's going down, and then, you know, it's my first rodeo, so I was like, what do you mean? So then I'm stressing out, you know, and I'm over here like my eyes are closing. They're like, don't, like, I got the oxygen mask
Yeah.
at this point, but they were like turning me different sides because she was scared to come out, so she like went back in. So
she's like, it's nice in here, Mom. Like, I don't know what
like,
you could do.
she's like, I heard it's a cold world out there.
I
Whole
ain't ready.
world.
I'm not
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, so I had trouble after a couple pushes, and like I told you guys, I was like, they told me you can either vacuum her out, or, you know, the next option is a C-section, but you've been pushing already, so we don't know like if you make it, you know,
Yeah.
to do a C-section. So I told you guys, I was like, please, baby Jesus, don't do this to me. Let her be out. And sure enough, she didn't have a cord wrapped because they thought it was a cord wrapped around her too.
Wow.
But she didn't have no cord wrapped around her too. She's just being difficult.
Yeah.
She's been difficult.
And it's only gets worse. They get more difficult.
Strong and independent was what we're going to say. Strong.
Yeah, strong.
All right, so I kind of want to go back to the relationship, Ruby, not past, current. So I know you say you feel whole now, right? You feel like you got yourself. So I know you're newly removed from a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Is dating something that you've thought of, or scary, or is that not even crossed your mind? I mean, future. I mean, obviously.
No, I feel like I'm so focused. Even going on a date with, I'm not gonna say anything, Dre. I'm not saying nothing mean. But even going to that, it took me a lot because I'm not a dating girl.
Yeah.
I feel like I guess like whoever I ended up going on a date with, I end up with them in a long relationship. I think I'm just a relationship girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
So if someone gets a date with you, they're pretty much locked in with
Yeah.
you. You guys are.
He's like, oh, great. My DM.
Hey, hey, so if you guys want a long-term relationship, DM Ruby, shoot your shot.
no, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm weird. I just don't. I get scared of all of that, and even now I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be very. So who's gonna be good enough for us? It's not just gonna be me no more.
Yeah, you're a
And
package
it's
deal.
scary. And right now, that's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, last thing on my mind. I think when I put my video out, though, I think a lot of people were like, okay, we're waiting to see if she was. Now she is. So then I just like see, and I'm just like,
Everyone's shooting their shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And my friends laugh because they're like, it's okay, you know, just go like on a date or something. Like, no, it's not my focus right now. Like it's really not. So
But even now, I mean, okay, let's just say 5 years from now, however long. I hope it's not that long for your sake, because I feel like you're a catch. So I feel like you're depriving somebody that potentially could be a catch for you too by having your guard up. So I hope it doesn't take you that long. But obviously, you know, when you're ready. But is now that you do have a daughter and you're not single anymore, has your mindset shifted to what you're looking for in a guy when you start potentially dating?
definitely,
Is
I
that-
feel.
What would be
checklist a
that?
lot
What
longer.
would be some traits that you're looking for
Well,
in a
first
potential?
off, I feel like it's not that I'm like cutting the whole dating thing off. Obviously, you know, I'm human. I'm gonna want a partner.
Yeah.
But I just feel like whoever if I were to go on a date, I'd be wasting your time because you're still gonna get like a not so healed Ruby, and I'm fun. I'm a good person. I think, like you said, like I don't think I'm a catch. So I just feel like it'd be unfair to the person right now because I'm just like I'm still trying to heal my healing phase, and I'm gonna make sure that like whoever I do like give my time to, I'm gonna be fair to you too, you know. So I want to be healed first before I even think about dating. Like right now, it's just not my thing. I don't care for it. It's all about my daughter. But like you mentioned, the things that I am looking for, it's just gonna be I think what any girl wants, just loyalty, respect, and good communication, and someone that's going to be with you through thick and thin, not just when it's thin, because I feel like that's that's not really like realistic. You know,
Yeah.
people go through stuff, and I think it just makes you stronger to see like how you come back from that.
Yep.
So I think that's one of my biggest thing, that I just think like I want to be with someone that's gonna be like, okay, ups and downs, but we're gonna get through it. You know, not just like, all right, it's not good right now.
So peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something I think. It's just loyalty, respect, and you know, someone that you can be yourself around, because I feel like that's really hard. Like I think my past relationships, I just well, my first two, I felt like I wasn't myself. Like I was trying to mold into who they wanted as a partner. And I felt like I think with my last relationship, I really felt like I could be a goof. Everything. I
Yeah.
just felt like I was myself. So I was like, okay, this is my soulmate.
Yeah.
But then I heard that people are just like, you can have multiple soulmates. So I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think, and then it's like, they're like, do you consider going on a dating app? I was like, I cannot see myself. I was like,
Swiping left
they're
or
like,
right.
Ruby, you're not going to find him at the grocery store like this movie. And I was like, maybe.
You might
I
find
don't
them at
know.
daycare. You might, you know,
Yeah,
there's a lot of,
I was like,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. But I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm a dating app girl. I think I just want it to be natural, I guess. Maybe a Lifetime movie type of thing.
Yeah.
We're getting coffee. You guys bump into each other. No, and I only asked that question because we got like 8 questions about you dating again, and you know, and we'll get into some of those. But some of those I thought were they made me think. Okay, you know, I've been with my wife for like 15 years, so I wouldn't. We talked about that. Like Marissa's been with her husband for 10 years, 10,
8, 9
8,
years.
9
yeah.
years.
What's the secret? Because I'm just like,
Honestly, I mean, the thing
man.
that you said, like honesty and getting through some real shit. I mean,
We've been through some real. I mean, Marissa and I've been through some real shit. But with my wife, I would say I get asked that a lot, and it's weird because I feel like I'm not even at a 10-year. We're almost there, but we got together really young. But I've never had any issue trusting her, and
100%.
people overlook trust so much, and I want to give her that same respect. So if I am shooting content with females, or if I am doing something, or if a girl calls me or comments on my stuff, she knows like I already got them. Like it's not even an issue.
Well, yeah, and you're super good at making
especially
sure she feels
your
secure.
guys is like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Our
Our relationship,
so
our
I've
industry is
heard,
crazy.
like, I remember before I'd be like, okay, so you're with a trainer, like, do you know, suspect anything or anything like that all the time? Like, no, I met him as a trainer. I'm going to be like, hey, switch your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't take on any female clients because
Yes.
and that just
But I think it's just like a respecting. And like I talked to Jason, like I just feel like boundaries, if you have good boundaries, then you're good. But
Yeah.
if you're making other people feel comfortable enough to break those boundaries,
Yep.
and that's when you're just kind of like, okay.
that's a you
Like,
issue
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but
Yes, you issue.
but even sometimes just in I guess the personality that we have as trainers, we're very open and I guess touchy for the most part for like, you know, talking to women. Like I would have female clients. I'm like, damn girl, your ass is looking good. You know, and if they did take it some kind of way and they approached it that way, I would always make sure I didn't respond or I just kind of cut it off. So I guess going back to what you said, what would be the secret to longevity with a relationship? It would just be exactly what you hit on. Trust, the loyalty, and knowing that my wife and I have been through thick and thin. There's nothing we can go through that we haven't been through.
Communication.
And we've seen each other grow so much.
And you told me something on the phone that I was just like, yes, like that's cool. Because there's been times that, like, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes like I'll see like how the fitness people are with each other. I'm just like, is that cool? Like what, like am I supposed to? And that's one thing with me. Like I felt like a lot of times, like, you know what you want as a girl. So a lot of times like, hey, what are going to be my boundaries? But I felt like in my previous relationship, I was adjusting my boundaries a lot just in order for me not to feel disrespected. So I felt like, is that fair to me? So I think it's just like for every relationship, it's different. So you can't go based off like just, well, they do it like this, so this is how I want it to be, or you know, or anything like that. Or you have to be cool with it. Like it's every relationship's different. And like something you told me, Jason, over the phone, you're like, I make my wife feel secure. And I was like,
1,000%.
and I was like,
yes,
okay,
yeah.
like that's something, like, you know, you said like I comment and do this and she knows she's secure at the end of the day because you make her feel like that. And I think it's just kind of how everybody's relationship is. It's not the same, and you can't be like, well, they're like this, so let me be like this. It's everybody you have your boundaries with your wife. I'm sure whoever I'm in a relationship, I'm gonna have my boundaries. So
Yeah.
it's just different.
And even female, male, like my husband's like, your Instagram's like six pack, ass, 6-pack. And even he's like, I'm like, we see 6-packs and big old booties all day long that it's just like Like it doesn't even phase
For
us.
us, I mean, speaking for myself, I'm immune to it now.
Yeah.
You can walk into either of our gyms at any time and you'll see a girl in a complete bathing suit because they're getting ready for a competition.
Yep.
But the world we're in is such highly sexualized. Guys are walking around. I mean, I was doing a video yesterday and one of the trainers getting ready for classic. So he's wearing literally a
Speedo.
Speedo.
Yeah.
Right. I'm doing the video. I'm oblivious to it, but everyone's like, that guy's in his underwear. And I'm like, guys, this is
what we
you know,
do,
so for us,
yeah.
I think we're so, we're over it, I guess.
Yeah.
We've seen so much of it, but for the outside world, especially like you're not someone that's in the fitness industry. So a lot of it was new to you, but I think you're 100%, you hit the nail on the head is what are you comfortable with? Right? If there's something I do that makes my wife feel uncomfortable, trust me, I'll hear about it. And she'll tell me and we'll talk through it. And maybe we may not agree, but I'll know, okay, this is off limits.
Yeah.
And I feel like I push things pretty far. Like, I mean, I feel like I push things pretty
I'm
far.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, I guess we've been together for
And
so
that's
long.
like something like it seems like I think, for example, like this is the second time I talked to you, Jason, like in person. So like I think outside in, it looks like, oh my God, Jason, like why are you commenting that? But then, like you said, I get to know you. I talk to you over the phone. And I'm like, okay, he's telling me like his understanding. Like my wife and I are like this, you know.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, like I'll hear it from her. But then at the end of the day, like I feel like you guys have your own relationship where you make her feel secure and the trust is there, the respect is there. So at the end of the day, like I'm just like, okay, like I take back what I felt because I'm just like now I get a clear understanding where you're coming from.
Right.
And I think it's just all like about communicating like with your partner, what you're good with, what you're not good with. And like you said, if there's something she doesn't like she makes it known to you and you guys address it.
Yeah, I mean, and we address it. I don't think there's been anything as of late, but that's the beautiful thing about podcasting, right? We have a perception and we all put the best foot forward on Instagram.
Yes.
But then I like to be as genuine as I can with people that follow me. You have a way bigger audience. So this setting here is awesome because we have so many questions. It's ridiculous. But before we go into the questions, there is something that I want to ask you just personally. Where do you see yourself? And this is my question. Where do you see Ruby as the brand going in like 5 years? Like for me, I feel like you're headed towards being a designer.
I used to actually sketch a lot. Like I used to sketch a lot in high school and like I would make my friends' costumes all the time for every Halloween. I made my own little things sometimes and I feel like to make me different from other brands because everybody could be a wholesaler. Yeah. Like everybody. But I feel like that's the next step. I do want to start designing my own stuff. Maybe do a little baby brand.
Hey, let me know, girl.
But I am working right now and I spend so much money with getting a space to film content and stuff for the store for myself. So something that I'm working on right now, hopefully it falls through or else I'm going to be so sad like with the lease and everything. But I do a content space in LA. So
nice. Basically
it's just a flex space. I can keep some of my stuff there and I also want to dip my toes into that where I can rent it to people so they can use the space.
There you go. Yep.
So smart.
Yeah. So that's something like I'm working on right now. I'm hoping a lot of back and forth lately.
It'll happen.
Yes.
It would happen when it's ready.
I'm a little stressed.
True.
A little stressed about that, but I feel like that's kind of the direction I'm heading into. And also, I just want to, like, I think I'm at the point where I learned a lot about passive income, where it's just like I want to make sure that I always have at least like 5 or more
streams.
And I think with social media, you can easily make that happen, easily. And it's like I said, sometimes I'm just like I don't want to seem and come off as like, okay, she's all about her money or anything like that.
You have to be about, like, I'm sorry, but you have to be about your money. Like, you have to pay for things. Your daughter has things that, like, you have to be about
now I see it like more as like, okay, don't feel like that, Ruby. Like, you're content creating. It's something that you truly do enjoy. And there's little things that there's so many, like I have an Amazon storefront now, which I didn't know about, where it's like people can shop my Amazon favorites and things like that. So that's like a form of income.
Wow.
So if you want to be a content creator, like that's an easy form of income. I have a like to know it, where it's like people, I put my picture and people can buy whatever I was wearing. That's another form of income. Then we have YouTube. Then you have TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't even realize. Okay, now I have a couple.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, I want to make sure that I'm at the point where like I said, like I feel like I'm doing good financially right now, but I just feel like in the long term for my daughter too, that I'm just like, okay, like everything I did, I want you to do, you know, or take little things from it, you know, and I want to dip my toes in, like I said, that whole renting out a space for content creating and see where that goes, and then see if, you know, there's a possibility for something else, you know. So that's just kind of where my head's at. I think just kind of dipping my toes into different things. I told Jason, like, I've been wanting to do a podcast, so being on here too, I'm just like, this is so cool. Like, I'm just
It's
like,
fun.
I was nervous.
Now, right? I
but
told
it
you.
genuinely does feel like you're just having a
Yeah.
conversation with your friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I like it. So I think in the next couple of years, maybe a baby brand.
Maybe a baby brand.
My own designing stuff, my own designer stuff.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
I'm
And
really
then-
waiting for that.
And then hopefully just like dipping my toes into different kind of businesses. Like I said, like right now I am trying to do that content space. So hopefully everything goes well with that. And then just kind of, I don't know, I wanted to just focus on the whole like child development side of things when I started. And that was when I was 18.
Yeah.
And then I saw this whole social media thing. I'm like, I want to do that. And like, it's going so well. And then now I see like so many women out there just killing it that I'm just like, I want to do that. And you could do that. You could do anything you really want to do if you really like have the work ethic and you just kind of ask questions. I was so afraid to ask questions, people. Like I told Jason, I wanted to ask you like, what kind of podcast equipment does your people use, you know? But then I was like, I didn't ask yet because
Yeah, she's like, I want to ask it. Well, come. The only way you're gonna find out is if you come in and you get on the show.
And he's just like,
So I
no.
baited her here.
Yeah, so like I just feel like I used to be so scared to ask about things, but now when people ask me and I'm like, I'm gonna help you if
Yeah.
you need it, like I'll help you some way. And that's why I genuinely mean it when sometimes I talk to my audience and tell them like, you guys can ask me anything, don't be shy, I'll answer the best
they
I
did.
can.
Yeah.
I got the questions.
But and then that's where you can tell it's like your audience knows that you're genuine, and that's why you have such a great following.
And you can't buy that. Like people can buy followers, and we've all seen people that have like 50,000 followers, and like, you know, you can see, and I know talking to other people I know that make money off of Instagram, brands see that. They see that, they recognize that.
Yeah, that's another side of things. Like if you have to stay consistent, because the way I get my work is through insights. So how many people are saving my outfits? How many people are sending? How many people are you reaching? So that's like, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure to any manager or to anyone, how many followers you have. It's just kind of like how organic is it for your followers to want to buy that item or something, you know? So it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's just kind of, they look at your insights a lot to see. And then also like your link tabs, like so many different things that they use to be able to be like, okay, is she worth my 5K, 3K, or 100 for a story, or like little things. And you just have to just stay on top of it and be consistent with it.
No, and I think going back to what you originally said is you had a friend that was making money on it already, and she helped you out. And I think people don't understand that there's so much space for all of us.
Yes.
In the fitness world, you open 5, 10 gyms. I'm as happy for you as I am for my own, because I know we're not taking away from each other. In your space, either designing clothes or just getting sponsors, there's so many different women that are doing it, that it's like, if you do well, it doesn't mean that she can't do well. It doesn't mean that she can't do well. And I think where your strength is, from what I've seen, is that you're able to network with all these different people that are in your space, but you guys all benefit off of it. Right? So kind of going into that, I want to jump into some of these questions we have. Your fan, and I call it the Ruby Army. I don't know if you have a name for them. You're like Taylor Swift kind of. So when you put out there that you had questions, our Instagram was getting a lot of them, but you also have some good ones from your own people that you sent me. So so you guys know, Ruby just screenshotted everything and she sent it to me. So I'm the one that's going to select them. So don't get mad at her if your question isn't asked. But a lot of them are juicy, and a lot of them, they kind of want to know the real Ruby, I guess, if you want to call it that. So this one is kind of going back to the relationship. Are you single? We haven't had any cute family content. Maybe do a family channel.
That's why I felt so free when I posted my YouTube video, because I'm like, I'm free. Like I like let everything out. I literally, like, it's not, I'm not saying that people have no shame, and they'll like they'll straight up like, they'll just tell you like, but they realize because they connect with you. So like, okay, so you're showing all your good things, like he just goes missing. Like what happened? And I think I felt like that video was much needed for me to post, just because it explains like, hey, you know, we're no longer together. But
And
when
that video is on YouTube, right?
Yes, I just posted it.
Okay.
And it's crazy because like I saw that question, I'm like, I just posted it.
You're like, didn't you watch it?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, but I think it's gonna be there. It's gonna happen for a while, because some people obviously don't have the time to watch my video, or maybe they get on when they don't they think I still haven't explained anything, but I think even coming here, I just feel good that I'm clearing the air again. I'm single.
Your camera's right there.
I'm single.
She's single, but she's still not dating. So
Yeah, and I'm
don't shoot your shot, guys.
Single but not
Kidding.
available.
Not available.
Not available.
All right,
Yes.
this one's a good one too. And I feel like a lot of people have this. Even when we get new trainers, they always go through this. So I always want to shoot content, but I get really shy and embarrassed. Any tips to shooting content and not feeling like it's like shit?
That's why I think like I gravitate a lot towards the garages, like the content, because there's no one there ever. So sometimes if I have someone to help me, they'll help me. But other than that, like I can go out on my own and do it with my tripod because no one's around. So you might think I'm like a super not shy person, but if you ask me to take a picture outside of here and someone's like around, I get shy.
Okay.
I still get shy. And I've been doing it for so long. So I think just what you have to do is just make sure. I wouldn't say like for her, for the gym, it's much harder because you always have people watching you. I would say in that case, get like a gym partner. I remember like when I go with Viviana and them, they're really good on their phones. So it just feels when you go with someone that's like doing the same thing as you, it doesn't feel as how do I say
Like weird
or overwhelming because they could record you. So I think like for a fitness like person, you said gym, right?
No, I think it's just content in general.
Content
Yeah.
in general. Oh yeah, no. For fitness people, I thought it was that I would get like a partner. But as far as like on my own, I think like I always pick places that are just like by themselves, empty, just because I still get shy too. So I guess confidence. Sometimes you got to do it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get weird stares, but they don't pay your bills.
Do you ever shoot?
Yeah, they
Do you
don't
ever
pay your
shoot like
bills.
a reel and you're like, oh my god, I feel like I look like shit, or the lighting?
Yeah.
Do you post it or do you just
lot of
redo it, or
times.
do you care at this point?
I feel like there's been times where I just like suck it up and I'm just like, okay, just post it. Like you're overthinking, you're criticizing your worst critic. But yeah, that's happened a lot, and I think I always just end up posting it because I'm just like, it's not gonna be perfect all the time. And there's sometimes where I'm post something that I think is just so I'm like, wow, you did a good job on this
Yeah.
one. You know, I think so.
Okay, man, you have a lot of questions. I want to keep it business right now. Tips on how to become an influencer on IG and how to start making money from it.
I think we tapped in a little bit. I mean, you have to be consistent, first of all. And then also, if you are trying to work with a brand, you're going to have to invest a little. Like, you know, I was telling you, I was a broke college kid. I had 3 credit cards and I slammed all of them. And I would always spend my money on Forever 21, you know, Nike, all the time. And I feel like now I see it as an investment because I'm like,
Yeah.
now I got to work with those brands,
Yep.
you know? I slammed my cards for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I feel like you can't ask a brand like, hey, can I work with you? When they're just like, okay, but they never see you wear their stuff or
Yep.
anything. And that's why I always tell people, like, if you want to get into the content creating game, I think you should invest a little bit in your favorite brands, tag them, and that's how you're going to get noticed. I feel like when you reach out to a brand that you want to work with them, they're going to want to work with you too, but it's kind of like what do you got to offer me type of thing, not like just give me, can I get free stuff? So I think it works both ways. If you want, you need to invest a little bit if you want to work with a brand, and I think that's how it starts. You just start working with brands, they start seeing who you are, and not only that, like once brands start seeing that you're open to working with different brands, like, oh, it looks like she's tagging people and she is into this like content creating space, then they'll come.
Awesome. No, that's exactly what I think this person needed to hear. Especially, I'm looking at the profile right now.
He's
Do you?
like, I'm doing my work.
Yeah. I'm doing research. I'm trying to. You have a lot of questions, but it's funny because you have like one person that will ask you 5 questions. So I think like on this podcast space, when they listen to it, a lot of them you did answer. So I'm trying to filter through them.
Yes.
But you have a lot of fans, dude. You have a couple pages. So I'm trying to get the ones that I feel like will benefit the most. So this one's a good one. Do you still work your full-time job or only social media now?
So I was speaking to Jason earlier too. I extended my leave a little bit just because I just felt like I wanted to see how secure I could be with just everything else with my brand deals and like everything else that I'm doing. And it worked out. But then also I think about it too. I need to be smart. Obviously I want to save more, and then I want to invest my money in bigger things. So sometimes, I don't know if you guys have heard this thing, like use your 9 to 5 to invest into
Yep.
whatever you're gonna
100%.
and then now it's like I got to think about the baby too, and like her security too. So I just always think like, is it the smart move, you know? So I think I'm gonna be going back just to just make sure that I like save a little bit more and everything. And it's not bad. I think sometimes since we're in this world now, a lot of people kind of frown upon 9 to 5s because everybody's in this like entrepreneurial
Yep.
ship, which is awesome. Because, but then I'm like, you can do both. Like,
You definitely can.
don't feel like you're less than someone just because you're doing a 9 to 5. Like, I'm gonna be proud and say like, yeah, I do want to go back and do this because at the end of the day, like, you got you, and I'm like, can I do? Yeah, I could probably do it just with my brand deals and my store stuff, but I obviously have goals that I want to reach a little faster. So I'm just like, you need the money. So I'm just like, and you're on your own, so think what's right for you and your baby. And right now I'm just like, it's okay for me to go back, and I don't want people to feel like if you're not doing it if you are doing a 9 to 5.
It's weird, right? It's a really weird space right now. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have a plan B.
But I'm sure, like, if you talk to someone that does a 9 to 5, you have equally the same respect. There's some people that get in their
100%,
head and they're just
100%.
like, I don't know, you're not hustling as hard because.
But that's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's weird right now in the social media space in society. Like everybody glorifies being an entrepreneur, and it's not everything it's cracked up to be.
No.
Yeah.
But the benefit is for me outweighs what it would be to 9 to 5. But I know people that are firefighters, police. My brother is an auditor, so he audits hospitals, and he loves it. So I think some people are meant to do 9 to 5, and that's not in a negative way. And some people are meant to be entrepreneurs. I think it always comes back to how creative you are and how creative you aren't. So some people that are like, my wife loves the 9 to 5. She loves having stability. She loves everything about it. Not to say she couldn't be an entrepreneur, but I feel like most people like us, same story. I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I could do more, and so I did it. And that's kind of how you have that balance. But there's nothing wrong with having 9 to 5.
And that's the thing with stability, that it's crazy. And I think God works in crazy ways, because I was going through it in January, and I told Jason, we don't get paid maternity leave. I work for the county.
Yeah.
So we don't pay into Social Security. So I wasn't getting paid. So once my time was gone, it was gone. And it was just all my store and my brand collabs. And I remember when everything happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I started freaking out a little bit.
For
And I
sure.
remember I hopped on a call with my manager, and I told her obviously the situation that like what I was going through. And then she was just so confused, and she's like, wait, did you just move to the house? And I was just like, yes. I was like, but I was like, now I'm at my parents. And then I was like, so I need to work, so send me like anything you can. And she's like, you know what, I actually was jumping on a call with you to tell you that I have 5 things lined up for you.
Nice.
Wow.
And I went from 0 to like 5 things, and I was just like,
I love when that works out. And
Yes.
I mean, I always relate it back to fitness because that's what we have. But you have a trainer like, oh my God, I'm doing so bad. And then putting content out there and talking. I got 10 leads. I closed 10 people. But that's the life we chose.
Yeah.
Trust me, we've had ebbs and flows in our business.
yeah. And that's the thing, like going back to stability, that I was just, it kind of made me question, like, okay, this can be potentially stable for you, but you just signed on with this new agency and it's so fresh.
Yeah.
So, and you're in a position now where it's just like, it's just you and her, and she's depending on you.
Yeah.
So you need to make smart moves. And that's why I was like a little sad that I'm like, okay, well, I'm considering going back, but I love my space. I'm being to work hard and everything. But a lot of like collab deals too are like net 30, so or net 60. So I won't see whatever I'm working on today, I won't see it till maybe next month.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to be very good with like managing your money. And like I mentioned, I just signed on with that agency, and that's why I was just like, okay, I need to do like the right thing right now. It's not about like, okay, I'm doing my business and everything, but yeah, and I'm getting good money out of it. But at the same time, I do want to be like, I have other goals, like I mentioned to you guys, that I want to reach. And at the end of the day, it's going to be me. So I need to save more if I want to get there.
And it's one of your streams of income. Like
Yes.
at this time, if you have 5 to 7, like,
Yeah, a 9 to 5 is another one.
Yeah,
You have all these
exactly.
stories you talked about. Now you have a 9 to 5. I mean, that's
it's just more deposits.
oh, society. Stop judging people. This one, I love this one too. Tips to keep a healthy mindset dealing with the baby and healing.
Get a therapist. I think a lot of people think you're like crazy if you get a therapist, and I think that's like one of the best. A trainer and a therapist, I think it's like the biggest investment that I've made. And that's another thing when you guys talk, like when people talk about trainers, I know a lot of people sometimes are very hesitant on like, if you could go to the gym by yourself, like why do you need someone? You know? And for me, I love my trainer, Myra. Like she has helped me so much, and she loves that. And I know she always tells me like, I'm doing my work, like you make sure that you do your work, and then this is gonna work. And it's been working, you know.
Yeah.
And I love going there every day. I tell her like, when I go get out of the gym, I just feel so happy because it's like something for me, my own time. The baby's not around, and I love it. And that's like physically me getting myself right. And then as far as mentally, I got a therapist because I was like, girl, I'm gonna go crazy, and I'm gonna be losing myself little by little. So I highly recommend, if you need to talk to someone, it's okay. You're not a crazy person to get a therapist.
One of my friends actually gifted that to herself, Lola. She gifted that to herself for her 30th birthday. She's like, people think I had to be crazy. She's like, but I'm 30 now.
feels
And
good.
she's like, that's what I wanted to buy myself. I'm like, you know, like,
Me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. FaceTime with my therapist, and then it's just, he told me, he's like, I need you to journal every day, and then like look back at it. And then I read my January journal, and I was like, girl, you were like, I was so negative. I was like, I'm not here today.
All emo like high
Yeah, I'm
school
like,
status.
I'm at my parents, I hate being here, like all this.
I love
But-
that.
and
I never
then-
thought of that. I see. I don't
yeah.
journal. I know a lot of people that journal, but I wonder what like 2020 Jason would have journaled.
Oh yeah, no.
Kill.
That would've dark.
Public health. Fuck you.
Yeah, no. So I think that's to keep myself like sane and heal and everything. I feel like that has a lot to do with it, because physically and mentally, I know I'm getting myself, you know.
Yeah, good for you.
That's awesome. And you do
Yeah.
have a lot of support and a lot of questions regarding that. And like I was telling you in the beginning, even looking through a lot of these questions, your story alone is going to help a lot of these people. I mean, I want to ask all these questions, but they all kind of go in the same direction. But I would say most of them are, how did you deal with the breakup? How did you take care of yourself? What are you doing for your mental space? I just got out of a relationship. I just got out of a divorce. How do you deal with it? So, I mean, you sharing therapists and stuff like that is going to open a lot of your followers'
And I
eyes.
think it's hard for people, especially on social media, if you have like an audience. I think there's this thing like against being so vulnerable, and I'm guilty of this. I was like, I could only be vulnerable so much, because it's stupid to think, but I had this mentality where like, if I'm too vulnerable, it's like it gives someone the opportunity to wish on my downfall. And another one's like, I'm weak if I'm showing, like, I have this perfectly created Instagram feed that I was just like, I can't, like, I'm not gonna tell my followers that like my life is crumbling.
Yeah.
You know. But being vulnerable this week really allowed me to see more of like what it can do for people.
Yeah.
I was like sitting on my phone just reading stories. I'm like, man, I thought I had it bad. Like, there's people out there going through worse things, you know. And sometimes I just like, well, I'm happy that they're allowed to see that we're all going through something, you know, and be nice to people, because you never know what they're going through. And I just felt for a lot of people, and I'm just happy that I did do that, because it showed a different side. And someone said like, she's like, I would go on your profile and be like, well, she has this perfect family and she's doing this, and like she's out with her baby shooting content, she's looking pretty every day. And I explained to you guys, like, I'll take 5 pictures in one day and then spread them out, so I'm like in my sweats the other days. But she's like, but seeing this like had me respect you so much more, because you're showing a different side of you.
You're human. You're relatable.
And I was sad, because I was like, I don't want to make people cry or like feel any way. And I felt like it was, to me, I saw it as a Debbie Downer video. But then I had a lot of people say like, no, it's positive, because you're promoting like you're going to therapy, you got yourself a trainer, you're healing before you're like jumping into a new relationship. You know, you're doing all these things, and I don't think you realize you see the positive side of that. But give yourself some kudos. And I was like,
Yeah, I think for you, when you do post, it's not just what was me, there's no solution. You're posting, this is what I'm going through in real time. This is how I'm navigating it. This is how I'm adjusting. This is how I'm coping. So I always love watching people that I follow, their Instagram, when they go through something, but they tell you how to get out of it. Instead of just saying, I fucking hate this and my life is like this, then there's no solution.
Yeah.
So even for myself, if I post something that's negative, I always try to follow it up with like what I'm doing differently or how I'm trying to cope with it. And I think that's important, right? Not just adding to the world's problems, but like everybody goes through something.
well, there was a long time where I was just like, why me? Why? What did I do wrong? Like, why me? Like, the world hates me. Like, why me? But now I'm just like, I'm gonna remember this, like everything, and really put it, like, whenever I feel like something good happens, I'm be like, okay, like this, like you went through that.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. That's why I would tell people, like, throw something at me. It's not gonna hurt me.
Nope.
No more. Like,
The meathead in me is going to relate it to working out. It's like a callus, right? When you first start working out and you grab a bar, oh, you know, my hands are fragile. But the more you go through shit, the more weight you handle, nothing really hurts your hands anymore. So go ahead and flame me on the DMs, you meathead. Let's get into like the baby, because we have a lot of baby questions.
Yes.
What are your top 3 brands for the baby? I'm assuming it's clothing
Clothing.
for baby girl. Where do you go? Where do you shop?
Honestly, Target, Cat and Jack. I love their stuff. It's so cute.
Cat and Jack.
It's
Is it?
called Cat Jack or Cat and Jack, but I love their stuff. Super cute, very inexpensive. Walmart, it's like called Ganimals, I want to say. Look at me.
Look at this mom.
I think it's Ganimals or something like that, but they have cute clothes as well. And then Zara, if you want to be in more of like the bougie, pricier side, but they have a lot of cute stuff. H&M's good too, so I would say she's a lot in those. Target though.
Yeah, Zara. I highly suggest you buy Zara when your kids are older, because they grow out of that and you get very upset as a parent. And you hand it down to Ruby after.
Yeah.
We got that one. We got that one. We got this one. I got one more for you, and then we'll kind of move on from there. Going back to that, I just left my fiance 5 years and I'm starting over. Any advice?
See, and there's things like that where I'm just like, man. Like,
You resonate
legit.
with people.
That's you guys. I think. Well, how would you guys answer that? I've never gotten a ring on my finger.
I mean, for me, I feel like marriage does take your relationship to a different level. And young Ellen sitting over here behind the camera,
About to get married.
we got about to get married in June.
so
I told him that from the get go, from being a girlfriend to being a fiance to being a husband or a wife, it's completely different. So, fortunately for me, I haven't had to go through a divorce, but I would say you hit all of them on the head.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, a relationship is a relationship. At the end of the day, you have to have yourself. And I feel like it's very important in my own relationship to make sure my wife is independent. She has her own bank account. I'm not on it. I know some people are like, we have joint. Her stuff is her stuff. My stuff is my stuff. Then we have ours together. I wanted my relationship to be where if I died, I know everything would be taken care of. So I feel it's extremely important in a relationship, especially getting out of one, to refine your independence. Refine what makes you happy. Knowing that it's going to hurt. It's supposed to hurt, because they say a breakup is like a death, right? I've read that. And
Except you have to keep like seeing that.
exactly.
So, no,
Except
they said I TikTok is the perfect
TikTok is
example.
where you're getting your educational stuff from. Okay.
TikTok, there was a TikTok that said like a breakup hurts more than a death, because like a death, they're dead, but then like a breakup, you'll still run into their
Constant reminder.
Yeah.
And then you guys have similar circles. So I would say to that individual, even though you're not asking me, I would say fall back in love with yourself, whether that be through fitness, whether that be through getting your hair done, whether that be getting your nails done. Start to realign your own goals without your partner, and just understand that it's going to be hard. Understand that you're going to go through a lot of shit. But once a certain amount of time has passed and you fell back in love with yourself, I think you're going to look at that past relationship as an afterthought.
Yes.
Or just growing pains, peace and being alone. I think once you're happy and you're okay with it, just being silent in your own head, I think that's
And I think
super
it could get misinterpreted when we say like you have to be solid on your own. It's like, okay, so you don't care about your partner? No, like
No,
we do.
100%. Yeah.
Like I'm very sensitive. I like I'm a lover. Like I will love you.
Are you a
till the wheels
Cancer?
fall. No, I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a lover, and I know like I'll do the best I can before anything like the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like after everything though, I just still like that's what I mean. Like you just have to make sure you're good on your own. It doesn't mean like be super selfish and not care
No.
about your partner. It's just like just have your own stuff going for yourself, and then just feel whole yourself. So then when that person is not there or anything, like for her fiance,
You're still able to stand on your
you're
own.
so used to a routine too. So just like you said, find herself. She needs to find herself again.
All right. With that, I always like to leave the guests with, you have the open camera. Is there anything you want to say? Thank your people. Anything you want to say to your audience, your family, your friends, all the people that have been supporting you for all these years, that this is the first time they got to experience this side of you.
Yes.
So is there anything you want to tell them or just leave them with?
I just want to say like thank you for all the love and support to like everyone, social media, my family, my friends, you guys for opening up. Like you guys could have chosen anyone. It's a mix of things, and I think like it's cool that you brought this opportunity for me, and because like you said, it allows me to show a different side of me, because it's people, I feel like, just see, that's why I like doing YouTube, because people see you talking and get to interact with you. It's more detailed, it's slow, rather than just posting a video of what I'm wearing or a
Yeah,
picture. They don't
15
really get to
seconds.
know your personality, really. So I just feel like this allowed me to just kind of just be myself. It's cool. You get to relax and, you know, just talk. Just take time and talk. And I feel like sometimes you need that. I needed that. It made me feel good. I'm gonna walk out of here like
Like a therapy
yes,
session, right?
yes. No,
You
guys are
can tell
awesome.
your therapist
And
this
you guys
Wednesday
make
you're
things
good.
smooth, because I was afraid. Like I was like, man, I know I'm a very I'm an introvert. Like I just met you. I was kind of nervous because
Yeah.
so if you have to like I can't mix well with people that I have to pull teeth from, because
Yes.
I'm like, I'm shy. So
Yeah.
good luck. If we're both shy, we're not going
The podcast is just you guys sitting there staring at each other.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys made it so smooth, and I love what you guys are doing. Like I told Marissa, I think it's awesome that you guys, it's Jason yourself, because most of the time you'll see podcasts, it's just one person. So sometimes I feel like it's one-sided, and I think you get to see different perspectives, and you guys get to tap in with your own opinions
Perspectives and stuff.
perspectives.
Uh-huh.
I think
For
so it's
sure.
cool, and thank you guys. You guys made me feel very welcome. Everything's smooth. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you guys. Thank you to the audience
Thank you
again
so
for
much.
tuning in.
Yes.
Where can they find you at on YouTube? All your
So
Channels.
RadRuuby on all my socials. Dun, 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 dun. No, and then if you're looking for cute clothes, ladies, So Ready. So at Shop So Ready. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we'll put the link for everything on the YouTube. So
Yes.
again, thank you so much for driving out here, finding someone to watch Baby Girl. We do got some
Yes.
presents for you that we'll give off air. But again, we have to have you back on when you have your own podcast spot, your
Yes.
own what is it like?
I'll get you guys to come on.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'll be like, this is why I started.
Until next time, you guys, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.